Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. Do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Audience, I did ask what's on your list for Santa. Charles H. Jefferson II says, my list, cure for cancer. I am with you on that, Charles. Suzanne Ingham says, Santa's list, food on the table is all. Yes, indeed. Well, let's bring our guest for the day. We are a bit behind, but we will make up that time. We've got Rashida Godwin from Titan Tours. Let's give a warm TDH welcome our good friend back to the show. Oops, wrong one. My goodness, Rashida, sorry about that. It's not intense. Mike, see what? Morning, how are you?
No worries. Good morning, Val. Val, we go way back to.
You're the last person I would do that to. One, my goodness. I mean, could that happen last week? But anyway,
Yeah.
Rashida, thank you for your patience. Thanks for doing this. First off, the first thing I noticed is your shirt. Dream, lead, think right. Appreciate
And Bill.
and see, I missed the last.
It's a lot.
Challenge, man.
Challenge, yeah.
I hope they're selling one of those at the event we're going to be talking about. But for those who may not know, Rashida, you've been on this show quite a few times, but just remind people a bit about your background and what it is that you do.
My name is Rashida Godwin. I work for Titan Tours. I just do tours and transportation, and there's a lot of work behind that. We have about 8 buses doing mostly transportation and tours for like the cruise ships and stuff like that. Now we're coming to the end of another season, so we're looking forward to that. And then I also do the African diaspora tours, my AFA tours right here in Bermuda, and a lot of folks in schools call me up for that. And I also, another pivot to that, I'm also giving presentations. I gave a presentation just a few weeks ago to the Bermuda National Trust on language, decolonizing language. And that was oversubscribed and it was excellent. So I'm going to do a lot more in-house presentations as well too, just sharing about the culture, and then I also have, this is one of my other babies that's coming up called Kwanzaa, and I just love the idea of Kwanzaa.
And I'm glad that you shared all of that. I was like, don't be shy now.
Yes.
But no, I didn't realize you had 8 buses now. Well, congratulations on that and growth. And for those who don't know, like Rashida's story, she was in pretty much the IB sector and, chose to go out on her own with her family and created this much needed space for Bermudians. And I want to ask the audience real quickly, yes or no, have you been on one of their tours, Titan's tours? Because if you haven't, folks, go on one. Get there. They're helpful. It's helpful. And I say this not to be disrespectful to anyone, but having worked in Bermuda tourism, they don't share the things that you're going to learn from a Titan tour. Take from that what you will. You got a completely different aspect, a reality, a truth about Bermuda and its history. So I would just want to, on behalf of those, I know Karen Simmons says, yes, she's been on a tour. Traveling Trotty says, yes. Suzanne Ingham, we've got to get you on one. It honestly, you will enjoy it. You will not regret the experience. So I'm just hyping Rashida up. I know she won't let me down anytime. But let's jump into today. We're talking about Kwanzaa.
Yes.
Rashida, I'm not making fun of anyone. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But there are some people who, Black people, look like me, don't know what Kwanzaa is. Can you just explain what Kwanzaa is?
Yeah, no worries at all. Kwanzaa itself is a Pan-African holiday. It's for folks throughout the African diaspora so that they could learn how to connect to the African continent. It was created in the 1960s by Dr. Maulana Karenga, and you guys can look him up. And he is a historian. He's also a university professor. He's still alive today, actually. I think he's in his 90s. His hand is retired. And he actually has a website. You guys could actually go to the Kwanzaa website. Just Google Kwanzaa website and you can find everything on the website there. And basically, he created this for Black people because even during the 1960s, and even as a historian, Blacks we've had much of a struggle throughout the system and continue on. And so, he found that it was necessary for us to be able to come together during a time to come celebrate our history, heritage, and culture. Not taking away anything from Christmas. Christmas is great. But at the same time, lots of folks do find it a hard time get about during Christmas, and especially even Black people, all sorts of people,
Mhm.
the economic constraints, all those type of things. But Kwanzaa brings the community together as in a communal space, a
Mhm.
safe space that they could enjoy, share stories, learn about African culture,
Mhm.
African food, different things like that. And we could come together. We, even for the one I'm doing, we're even sharing a movie called Black Candle,
Mhm.
and different things like that. So we come together, we come in camaraderie, in love, in joy, and so that we leave there with a takeaway of having had a good time together without having been stressed about any of societal issues.
So, oh, I want to ask the audience, have you ever celebrated Kwanzaa? Audience, have you ever celebrated Kwanzaa? And that brings me to my next question: is why is celebrating Kwanzaa necessary in the community in Bermuda?
Kwanzaa in Bermuda is definitely necessary. Bermuda itself, like you said, if you come on a Titan tour, you'll learn a lot about the history, especially in terms of the history that happened to Black people on this island, the beginnings of that history, the origin story of our history here on this island. Like I said, jokingly, I say this with my children all the time, guys, we did not come on a carnival fun ship. It's on an all-you-can-eat buffet, as many of them want to believe that we do, and we believe that we're very inclusive in this society. But then we go into the society and then we're, lots of times discouraged, not understanding what's happening. And so, we are part of the African diaspora heritage. We are part of the Pan-Africanism that's also here in Bermuda as well, too. So we should be a part of Kwanzaa, and we should understand Kwanzaa because Kwanzaa helps to also keeps that history aspect
Mhm.
with it, as well as the culture. And again, it helps us again to also connect to the African continent, which many of us, we descend from Africa. And
Mhm.
so we should have an idea, and our children should have an idea of who are they? Our
Mhm.
children should not be disillusioned on who they are.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, our children are disillusioned in who they are because,
Mhm.
and even many adults, we don't know who we are. Kwanzaa helps to give you an aspect of who you are and
Mhm.
where you came from.
Indeed, and thank you for that. And I'm trying not to crap on traditional Christmas because I actually like Christmas. It's really
Yes,
motivating,
great. I do too.
but I think um, the importance of Kwanzaa is something that we can add to it rather than take away. But in saying that, we have this big event coming up, which I seen the flyer is exciting. Tell us about the Kwanzaa event that Titan is sponsoring happening at Treehouse.
Okay, great. Yeah, we're collaborating with at Treehouse with Tiffany Painter over there. It's a new facility, so we're looking for folks to come in. How we're actually doing it is going to be a host of events and activities taking place throughout the day. So folks don't
Mhm.
have to come feeling as though they have to stay there through the entire day. They could, partake in one of the activities. So we're starting off in the morning. We're starting at 11 o'clock. It's all happening on Sunday, December the 8th. It
Mhm.
starts at 11 o'clock. And for those who don't know where Treehouse is on 12 Trot Road. It's actually on the road. It's off of Church Street, but it's that road at the end of Church Street that takes you over to where Quicky Licky Laundromat is. It's like a
Mm.
right there. So
Mhm.
it's right there on the left. It's a brown building. So starting at 11 o'clock, Treehouse is going to be doing some Treehouse tours from about 11 to 12.
Mhm.
And we have folks coming in just to, so that they could view the facility. Then from between 12 and right to 3 o'clock, we're also going to have vendors there, various vendors. The vendors are Black vendors. Most of them will be selling Kwanzaa stuff or, their different goods and different things like that. And
Mhm.
then from 12:15 to 1 o'clock, we're going to be sharing a movie called Black Candle that's based on Kwanzaa, so you could get an idea of Kwanzaa. And then we're also going to be doing a mini Kwanzaa workshop as well too with Walimu Missionary Van Patten. She's an excellent actually teaches Ashe classes for people who may know about her. But she's just going to give us a mini workshop. We're going to have activities for the children to do as well too, that they could take away with drawings and stuff like that. And then we're going to finish off with some great African vibes with Dunquilly. Dunquilly's going to come in and they're going to do a drumming circle. And we're just going to just leave there inspired and just continue to enjoy the holidays.
Indeed, indeed. And audience, if you have any questions or comments for Rashida, please send them through. This has me thinking about so many things, Rashida. Obviously, you've traveled to the continent. Do you try to do it every year now? By the way,
I try to, because that's where my heart takes me. It's like going home to mom,
yeah,
and every time I land there, I just say, "Thank you, Mother Africa."
yeah.
And it feels like mom. It feels like, and I go there and I do feel like I get encapsulated, and I do feel as though my mom is spoiling me
Mhm.
the different things I experience.
It's interesting because I ask, and I've said it, publicly a number of platforms that I have no interest in going to Thailand or Asia or Europe. I only have an interest in going to Black Africa, and people understand it without me speaking. But one of the reasons is I want to spend my money and time learning about things I will never was never going to be taught about, and connecting with people who, as far as I know, are part of who I am and reflect who I am. But Kwanzaa intrigues me to want to understand how people throughout the diaspora, especially in Africa, Black Africa, celebrate these holidays. I'm inspired to learn how they go about doing things. But I want people to take something away from Kwanzaa, is that we can all find our own ways to celebrate our ancestry. We don't have to wait on someone to do something for us. I think when I think about Kwanzaa and what you said, is really, you know what? Let's use this time to connect. And I think we should use every time to connect. I look at Cup Match, right, in Bermuda. It's a lot of drinking, it's cricket. But for me, I think it's a time to really connect with, what this game symbolizes. You've said it on this show before, the friendly societies, the hot second day is named after Mary Prince. Learn a bit more, like connect. So for me, using a time, I love the Christmas period to really connect with the stories of your ancestors and building that communal, like that community vibe.
Mhm.
I think is so important. So I'm grateful, and I hope that this isn't the last time that you all do this. But I have a question from Karen Simmons. She's asking, are the dates for Kwanzaa significant to the Pan-African diaspora?
Yeah, no, Dr. Maranga pretty much decided that the actual Kwanzaa dates are after Christmas, from December the 26th to January the 1st.
Mhm.
And like I said, I think more he picked it, he said, because he just wanted Black people in America at that time, because he's an African American,
Mhm.
to learn to connect with the African continent. He didn't say, he mainly said he created Kwanzaa because it was during what was called the Watts riots in California. It was a lot of uprisings of the people during that time as well. It was always uprisings of the people, but in the 1960s, and people were feeling hopeless and helpless and just confusion, and so he felt as though, why not, all these other holidays were created, even Christmas was created, so why not us Black people within the diaspora, we have a holiday for ourselves to connect with. And so it spread from there, and I'm bringing it here to Bermuda. It's in places as far as even in Europe. It's big in London. It's even big in Atlanta, where you are too.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
I'm
yeah,
looking
it's
forward
not.
to it.
Yeah.
What do you
Mhm.
hope, on Sunday? Again, just remind people it's free. It's happening on
Yeah.
Sunday at Treehouse. But just remind, like, what do you want people to take away from this, like attendees?
I just want folks to take away that, again, lots of times we're in these seasons of holiday, and, honestly, it's not a good season for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Around these times could be really stressful. It's a lot of constraints economically, loss of family, different things like that. So we're just hoping that people could take away with just to be inspired, with just feeling a bit more good about themselves, a good just learning some things about history, culture, and just learning about our stories, and that they are continue to connect afterwards. Like they said, if a tour comes up, they'll be able to want to come and learn and do a tour and different things like that. So those are the type of takeaways I'm hoping for. Yeah.
Indeed. And again, just remind people it's free. Where is it taking place and what time?
Yeah, it's a free event. It's taking place at Treehouse. It's a new facility off of 12 Trot Road in Hamilton. That's at the beginning of, like I said, Church Street. But it's that road, it's to the left there that brings you out. The other side will bring you out where Quickie Licky is. And yeah, so donations are welcome. Also, Treehouse, Tiffany and those guys, they could really use some donations. They don't charge much for the spot, so donations are welcome to Treehouse. We will just have a few refreshments there, not a lot of food, just a few refreshments. But we encourage folks, you can bring your own snacks if you want as well too, as well as your own drinks, and just come out and just have a good time without having to worry about different things.
All righty, Rashida, thank you so much. And thanks for the work that you're doing. Folks, get there Sunday. It's the 8th, right? The 8th of December.
Yeah, Sunday, December the 8th. Yeah.
All right. And I'm going to emphasize donations. But Rashida, thanks again. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, folks. Rashida Godwin, if you appreciated the conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. We're going to take a final break. Get there. Support that event. We'll be back in 2 minutes, 41 seconds. Stick with us.